Okay. Yeah, you can hear the. the fact. There's something that can be done. Let's see. Let's see. I'm in filters. Seems to work. Okay. I'm doing this. Yeah. Okay, mate. I'm gonna make a mute button. Or it could be the mute button. Let's see. Would this be a mute? Okay, I'm gonna start counting from 1 to 10, and I put a what's it called, a push to mute button. So let's see if that will work. At 5, I'm gonna mute it till 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, sorry. Okay, let's see if it works now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it didn't do anything. Let's see. It is there. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, let's see once more. Nope. Once. Nope, it's not working. This push to talk thing doesn't work, so. So I'm just gonna do a mute, unmute, I guess. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay, I think. Okay, it worked. Just in case I start coughing again, I'll just mute it. Anyway, let me mute the video. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I don't really have much. I kind of have been experimenting with the GIF thingy to record GIF, and honestly also on the release notes. Okay, what I have here is actually, it's gonna mute it if I press it. Now that I think about it. Being that, what was it? I wanted to see if I could use the tilde button, the button that's on the left of the one. If I can use that for activating debug, basically. But there's no, like on this, let's see, the keyboard, the general gameplay, no, math input, okay, which, okay, hopefully that mute work. Controls. I was trying to look over here on keyboard. Right here, the decimals, the numpad, function keys, print screen, backspace, whatever, all those. Left shift controls and all that kind of stuff. And what else? ORD, right? You can use ORD. Yeah, whatever. Well, okay, it's gonna mute me, but okay, there we go. Basically, I just wanted to see if I could use the tilde button, and since there was no real documentation, I mean, where that an easy way to access that button, I had to figure out the, I guess, the UTF code of it. Right, or is gonna give you the UTF. If, how come it's not loading? How come I have access denied to checking out what OR does? How about UTF? Oh, that can take me to the Wikipedia page. How about any other function? IO clear? Can I check? Okay, I can see what IO clear can. That's weird. Can I check what last character does? Yep. But apparently I don't have permissions to check what ORD does. I wonder why. I'm just clicking random stuff. Do fonts. Can I manipulate the font? Yes, I can. Font delete. There we go. Can I check ORD? Okay, so now I guess it allows me to go to ORD. But either way, it returns the UTF code of the button being pressed. And that's basically, I think it's a debug. Yeah, so see, it's drawing two tasks. It's drawing the string of the keyboard key, which is the UTF code 192, and also this one is keyboard check. It's gonna return true or false. If 192 is being pressed, which is what I figured out is the tilde. Is that what it's called? Tilde button? This one you can see is this button. Which, how come this top one is not the... Okay, what is it called? Well, I mean, this symbol, whatever. Tilde? Okay, whatever. That's the naughty part. I just wanted to use that button since it's barely. Just barely used as a debug button. Yeah, that's the purpose. Whatever. Touch 192. I don't need this anymore. I don't need none of this anymore. Close everything. Save. I don't need it. So what do I have? Okay, let me set an alarm first. Right. Good morning, 9 a.m. Nope, that's too early. 10, 11, 12. Let's say 1 p.m. So in 2 hours, 25 minutes. That's all I have. And see what I can do. Okay. So this is what I have, a blank screen on Room Splash. Room Splash has front end, instances, back end, and background. The background is a color, right? So there's two objects. On instance there's Splash, and on front end there's game. Game, that's one right now, the thing that's doing the most things right now. On create, first it starts the int enum. Honestly, I don't think it needs to be ran at all, but whatever, just in case. It defines a bunch of enumerations. Some of them I'm probably just gonna delete. Actually, let me delete them right now since I have possibly no need of them right now. I may or may not use this ones later, but whatever. Then I just copy and paste a previous project. So it also a couple macros, constants basically. Null is just undefined. It is a shorthand for undefined. Null, whatever. There's this. This one is pretty interesting, right? If I want a random color, I put C random, and it is this function, make color RGB of I random 255, I random 255, and I random 255. So it will make a random color every time I call it. So I thought that was pretty neat. Then a couple colors I want to use: Alice blue, cornflower blue, Egyptian blue, and sepia. And just a couple colors. Control types, being that there's 3 main controllers gonna be using: touch, gamepad, and keyboard. And there's a default no controllers just in case there's no controllers. There are 5 platforms. It will detect what platforms are there. Unknown, just for default, catching whatever. Desktop, UWP, mobile, console, and web. And this one is virtual gamepad. So there's a value for the left horizontal axis, the left vertical axis, the right horizontal, and so on and so forth. And to of note, the angle for the left axis and the magnitude of the left axis, the angle of the, not axis, thumbstick, joystick, whatever, and the magnitude. So what angle is it being tilted and how far? Anyway, that's basically what int enum does. Then is platform. It identifies the platform, right? Platform equals platform type unknown, right? That's the default. Though by the end of this, there should be a platform defined. The first one, if OS is equivalent to not a browser, that means the game is not being run inside a browser, right? Game is not being played in a browser. Let me take that out. Actually, whatever. Anyway, actually, wait. Did I unmute? Yes, I did unmute. Okay. So if it's not in a browser, it's probably some directly on the platform. So what platform is it? If it's an OS, if it's OS Windows, right? Which is OS Windows, it's being run on OS Windows. It's gonna set the platform to equal platform type desktop. If it's OS is Android, it's gonna set it to mobile. If it's UWP, it's actually gonna run this thing called UWP. Being that one main thing about UWP is that it can run either a desktop, mobile, or console. So if it's gonna be on the desktop, it will. Well, okay. So what does the int UWP does? Again, it will create the variable and set it as unknown. One thing that I do is that I put an underscore for like temporary variables, the local variables, limited scope variable, whatever. So actually I should put one down here as well. Okay. So I said this is the value that gets returned, UWP. Right now I set it to unknown. Then I create this variable, initialize this variable with an empty string, and then this OS map will equal OS get info. OS get info is a function that returns ideas map that has detailed information about the OS that the game is running on. The exact information returned will depend on the OS and the device. Note that the DS map is not automatic. We actually use map destroy when no longer needed. And actually, this is new. I didn't. I did not know this part. Well, the last time actually, well, when I implemented it, didn't have this UDP and Amazon Fire. I had to do a lot of experimentation. This function only works on Android, iOS, Mac, Ubuntu, and Windows desktop and UDP. All other target platforms will put a -1 rather than a DS map. So, okay, so right here, this function is called when the OS type equals UWP. So I'm not, that's why, well, okay. Since it's being run on UWP, Windows Desktop and UWP, we'll get some extra information from the X11 with the following keys that will be able to be map, useful for extra, blah, blah, blah. Interesting, but whatever. Yeah, it doesn't say it here. Context, vendor ID, device ID, subsystem ID, revision, dedicated video memory, dedicated system memory. But I don't use none of them. Like I said, I did experiment a lot. So okay, I call this function that returns a DS map into the variable OS map. So then I check if OS map is in fact -1. Like I said, if it fails, it will return a -1 instead. So if it's not a -1, it's a map. And so now I have this t value, t variable, and I'm going to find a value in the OS map called device family. Device family wasn't over there. So whatever this what is it? Whatever that key, right? This function you can get the value from a specified key. So it will find the key device family on the OS map data structure, and whatever value it is, it will send it to the t variable. Then I'm going to destroy the OS map because I don't need it anymore. I create a switch depending on the value of t. It could be Windows Xbox, Windows Mobile, or Windows Desktop. That's what I'm looking for. That's the way I have to tell the UWP is being on console, mobile, or universal. Actually, let me boot up my Xbox now that I think of it. And I'm going to switch. There we go. Did it kill my capture? No, it did not. Hopefully it didn't. Come on. Yep, it did not. Okay. Being that, yeah, this was on the other screen where I now turn on my Xbox. Either way. So if it's an Xbox, it will set it as console. If it's a mobile, it will set it as mobile. And if it's desktop, a UWP desktop, it will be universal rather than desktop because you finished downloading. Okay. There are differences between UWP and desktop, whatever, especially the touchscreen. Anyway, so it will return whatever it is, mobile, desktop, or console. If it's, remember, else, on the first one, OS browser is not a browser, it will detect the OS. However, if OS browser is in fact a browser, it's gonna send it to web, and then it's gonna set create the variable platform state and make it equal to platform. Then now that I actually think about it, I have not set up the Xbox. Maybe I shouldn't set it up because it's gonna show my PS. But whatever. I guess I didn't need to turn on. Whatever. Come on, don't ruin the feed. Don't ruin the feed. Come on. I'm just waiting for. There we go. Come on, don't ruin the feed. I think I just turned on the other monitor since I'm not gonna need the Xbox. Whatever. That was whatever. Okay. So that says the platform up. INT resolution at 480, 270, and 3, and it's awesomely documented over here, the width, the height, and the scale of the resolution. Right. So now I click over here. Here's the documentation. Here's a couple of notes. And yeah, the 480 by 272 is because the Zune HD is 480 and 272. So was the PSP. And then just a couple. The Game Boy. What the Game Boy would be if it had a widescreen, NHD, HD, and Full HD. What was it? This code is based on the tutorial by Pixelated Pope on how to determine the resolution of the game. I get the width and the height and the scale. Those are the three arguments over here. Right. I just put right now the max scale equals 7, but just to have it equal something is going to be determined at a later point. The width of the display and the height of the display, the aspect ratio, and if the aspect ratio is less than 1, I decide to actually recalculate. So actually, how is this gonna work if the screen is actually portrait? Being that there's actually a fix for Windows Mobile that it reports this. Maybe I should actually no. Whatever. It's actually a fix for Windows Mobile that it reports the dimensions the other way around. Either way. So first it checks if the platform save is not the web, because it's not gonna do anything for the web. And the web is just gonna leave it at whatever size I gave it. This is the complicated stuff that's based on Pixelated's Pope tutorial. And basically, from the width and height that I gave it, that's my preferred width and height, but if it does not fit the aspect ratio, it just finds a size that's close to the one that I gave, but fits the aspect ratio of the device. So actually I need to indent this. Okay, there we go. Now if it's any other platform other than, also it also determines the actual maximum scale. Depend how many times can the window be scaled inside the display. However, if the display is not a desktop, it's just gonna set it to scale back to 1. And also, if I give a resolution scale value higher than the one that it supports, it will make it equal to the max scale. Right, this is the part over here, scale equals max scale. Anyway, so then I define these variables, the aspect ratio, game width, game height, game scale, game max scale, and then I set the resolution. All this is to determine what the resolution is going to be. And now I actually set the resolution. Right, surface resize I resize the application surface to the width and height value. I set the GUI size again to the width and height. I set the window size to the width times the scale and the height times the scale. I set the full screen to false. I don't know why this is here. There might be a reason why this is here, but I forgot. But then game alarm 0 equals 1. So let's go to game alarm. It says centers windows and centers the window. Right, I just rescale it, but it's not gonna recenter the window. I just resize the window. Right, window set size, that sets the window size, but it doesn't center it. So, and if I run window center next to it, it will not center it. So I run it one step later. And so that's what INT resolution does. Then INT system, it just creates input on the front end and draw and debug at the back end layers of the splash. Hopefully that makes it work how I think it's gonna work. Being the negative 1000 makes it definitely the first things to run, and positive 1000 will probably be the last things that will run, and everything else will be in between those two. And yeah, I hit 3D, whatever that's gonna come later. The other big thing is splash. What it does, it just draws a white rectangle. That's all it does. What does input do? It creates all these variables to be used for input. All the ones that are commented out are for touch, sort of. Okay, so main thing, the control state equals no control. So first, the control state is what control is usable, and right now no controls are usable. Then it will initialize those three variables. Can it use a keyboard? Can it use a gamepad? And can it use a touch? Then INT controls. Like depending on the platform, it will set what it can use and the initial state of control state. So for a desktop, it sets keyboard for true because it can use the keyboard. It uses gamepad to true because it can use the gamepad. and touch false because it cannot use a touch screen for a desktop application. Next, for control state, if the gamepad is connected, it will set it as gamepad. Otherwise, it will set it to controls. And that's the main difference between desktop and the main difference between desktop and universal. Keyboard again it can use, gamepad it can use. And the thing, as you can see, it's blue. That means it's depreciated. It's deprecated. Windows 8, because it was originally designed for Windows 8 device touchscreen available. Let's see if I can find what it does. Actually, don't I already have it open? Okay, there we go. Let's see if this actually works. There we go. Does it not have it? There we go. Windows device touchscreen available. This function will check the device running the game and return true if the touchscreen is enabled, like on a Surface RT device, or false if not, like a desktop PC. I have found no other way to see if the device has a touchscreen or not. Since universal devices can or cannot have touchscreens, it's important to know if I can or cannot use a touchscreen. Right, and right now I'm developing on a Surface, so that Surface has a touchscreen, so it does put can touch as true. If it were in a device that does not have a touchscreen, it will set it to false. But I think I just bypass all that and just set it to true. And right now I just set it up if the gamepad is connected, set it to gamepad, otherwise set it to touch. Then the mobile, they neither cannot use keyboard or gamepads, it can only use touch. And over here I do throw OS power save enable so it won't go to sleep. If it's on console, I only turn on gamepads and set up the gamepad. The touch and keyboard are set to false, and if it's on the web, only the keyboard is true. Oh, I also put the touch as true. Interesting. Oh, for whatever. And set up the default as keyboard. So that's basically what it does over here on INT controls. And then this part is the physical binding. So key up left equals virtual key up, key down left, and so on and so forth. Right? Key A equals ORT X, key B equals ORT C. The idea is that eventually all this will be customizable to put on your own key. So if you don't want the key pad down to equal 3, you can change it to something else. And over here is the state of the virtual gamepad. The virtual gamepad basically just acts as an virtual gamepad. It It acts as a gamepad to for an actual gamepad, it will basically just equal the same as the gamepad. But if you're using keyboard or touch, it will translate it into a gamepad format. So that the player instance or the whatever needs to use an input device will basically see the same thing and act the same way. So this is for the current, for the previous, if it's being pressed, if it was being released, the dead zone for the axis. Is this one defined already? Okay, so it is defined. If it can, but actually I'm gonna comment it out because I'm not working with touch right now. Okay. Draw does nothing, and debug does nothing for right now. And this one first, really quick. Hopefully I do end up using stuff like this. But on this one, I just wanted to experiment with skeletal animation. Right, I got spine, and I just created this very simple animation. It does very little, just to see how it works. And it works, right? And then if I press left, it goes to this animation. If I just stop pressing it, it does that animation. So yeah, it works. And it was just an experiment. What does new ID? Okay, that works. Yeah, I'll exit it. I'll just turn it off. Let me see this one really quick. I think it is this one. Okay, ultimately I want to recreate something like this. And actually, like that experiment on skeletal animation, ideally I will replace that character with a skeletal animation sprite rather than the type of sprite that is right now. Has the mic been muted this entire time? Either way, I'll be right back. Actually, no way. I think it was not muted the entire time, but when I was started pressing a bunch of buttons. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Right now I'm using a gamepad. Okay, so this was like the last. Okay, so this was, I guess, the prototype of the dialogue system. Okay, I shall keep that one also open. Okay. So what is the objective for today, actually? I just recapped everything that has been going on and not necessarily talked about what am I going to be doing. So first off, I'm going to delete the stuff that right now it's not needed, right? Even so, I don't need this. Should I delete stress? Not needed right now, but to re-implement, whatever, I don't need it right now. I shall delete this. See, the thing about the stress and stress control is that, okay, the stress control just creates a stress object every so often, and what the stress object does is that it bubble sorts this array. Just something to do. So say do this bubble sort until it's false, and then it just sets the array back to how it was disordered, and the next step it will bubble sort it again, so on and so forth. And of course, the more stress objects there is, the more bubble sort it does, and it just bounces around. So, but whatever, delete. I don't need the wall. This is the GIF stuff. I'm gonna re-implement. I'm gonna keep it for right now because I'm going to re-implement it. And this just draws a white rectangle, so let's see what I have. It has that white screen, and these things over here are the 4 main system controllers and the splash controller. Okay. First up, neither the game nor input have to be visible. I'm just gonna put an empty draw on it. And same thing for debug. It's just gonna be an empty draw. And an empty draw. Okay. Close everything and open Splash. On Splash Create. Right, I want to define a couple things. Actually, wait. You know, to a certain extent, I don't really like using this. Basically, the coordinates for the rectangle it draws at the background. And now absolutely nothing has changed. right? And nothing happens. So next I want to define the label equals something, right? Let's just make it a test. Okay. Again, nothing has happened. So I'm gonna go to draw GUI. I draw the rectangle is being drawn. Now I'm gonna draw the text. So first draw via line is gonna be from the middle. I always confuse middle and center. Draw set H align. It's FA center. Do I have fonts? What is this one? Font display. Actually, I'm gonna start a new one. I put FNT as a prefix for fonts. Let's see if this one is good. Since I set it up to white at the beginning, I'm gonna put draw set color black now. Draw set color. Oh, wrong set. Draw right now I'm just gonna put it 50, 50. And now it does something. Test. The one thing is going to be a multiple lines, right? So N is the new line, so test. Okay, I want to try something really quick. If I put one more line, it's gonna push it upwards. Yep, it did push it upwards because the V line and H line is in the middle center. So in the middle, it looked like the middle center of the entire text, and not just the line, which I feel like it's a bit weird. So see, it's being drawn on the middle of the entire text and not the middle of the line. So either way, so I'm gonna create two new variables. LX, it will equal, what is it, x2? Yeah, x2 divided by 2. It's gonna give me the center. Would it? And whatever. Not x2. Not sprite width either. Game.width and ly equals game dot divided by 2. So this is gonna give me the center of the screen. There we go. The center of the screen. Test, 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 test. Now, what is it going to actually say? I'm gonna delete that one. Well, remove that one. So honestly, it is going to say this is a work in progress. Please go to bluestar03.com for comments, complaints, okay. Sorry. Mainly in my day job, I keep saying, do you have any barriers, comments, complaints, concerns, questions? So, but that's not what I'm asking right now. Is suggestions. And support. There we go. And now if I press play, it is not gonna give me what I want. It's gonna give everything in one single line. and most likely is gonna be off-screen part of it. Please go to bluestar.com for comments, complaints. So I'm gonna put the first split over here. This is a work in progress. Please go. I don't need the spaces in front. I'm gonna have the website and it's online. There we go. And I'm gonna actually lowercase this. Now the thing about link is that I want this in a different color. So what I'm gonna do is actually copy this, paste it. However, I'm just gonna retain the line breaks. No. Okay. I'm gonna put link here, and I'm gonna change the color. Change that to cornflower blue. Let's see if it works. There we go. Wonder if I can delete that and it will look slightly better. It does look better. If I turn anti-aliasing, anti-aliasing. Who came up with that term, aliasing? Nope, I'm putting it back on. Okay, everything looks good. Camera now needs to go to the next room. Oh, I already have 2 other unused rooms, but whatever. room to the title screen. So right now, since I don't have input, so if okay, room go to. That's what I was trying to look. Room go to. So if the enter key is pressed, it will go to title. Let's see if that's what it does. Let's see. There we go. But nothing happens. Just for fun. I'm gonna set this to 4. So in that room, it's going to have the title controller. So this is the splash. Now you're gonna have title controller. I just want to see if they. Yeah, I did not put them as persistent. They should be persistent. See, now it's a bigger screen. It nearly fills up the entire screen. But yeah, as you can see, the triangles are not up here, so that means they're not persistent. Now, what is the actual size of the actual? Let's what happens if I put 5? Would it allow it to go up to 5? Then already the 5th one is gonna be too big. 4 was barely enough. It did not go up to 5. It's stuck up to 4. Here are the 4 triangles, and okay, so where are the other 2? Okay, let's try this. Okay, see, that's game and input. How come game and input are the only ones here and not draw and debug? They are both visible and persistent. Where is it? Dry, gooey. So if debug is there, it will be drawing this text. Okay, so debug is there. Okay, so if instance count, wait, is it instance count? No. If instance number of game is equivalent to 1, two, three, four. Actually, wait, what was the other one? Game of draw and debug. Actually, wait. Right now I'm just gonna make them empty, but whatever. Actually, wait. Less complicated. Okay. Okay, GIDB. So all three have one instance. Okay. I'm gonna keep that for right now, but I'm gonna use it a bit later. Okay. So next, I'm gonna work on title. Title doesn't need much. All right. Okay. And then I need to draw. Now put an empty draw first, and then draw a GUI. No, it's not gonna be too fancy. I draw the title. That's the important thing. Huh, I wonder. I'm gonna make this into a script. Oops. This should be 0. Okay, let's see if this doesn't change anything. Because it should not change anything. It's still drawn at the same place. Now the thing about it is now I can specify first, let's document it. I need to figure out how the document. Okay, first is function. Okay. Okay. F align. Gonna be V align. Apparently that's not enough. I'm just gonna copy it. Nah, I shouldn't copy and paste it. I should type it so I can actually remember what it is. Add param. Do I have to put real on it? Now it's V-aligned. Vertical. Placement of text. So I should call it T-align instead of F-align. And vertical alignment Let's see. Then what does it start with FA? Either way, okay, whatever. There we go. See, now it has documentation, H-line. So for H-line is left, center, right? Wait, what? So I have it wrong here? H-line should... And see, now it does align properly with just one function. Awesome. Okay, I will take a... I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I wonder. Okay, I'm just this development version of Edge, which is based on Chrome. Does it actually auto update? Because I don't do anything to it, and I don't know. Either way, I just wanted to see if YouTube will behave differently. Okay, my channel. How do I go to what I'm actually streaming right now? YouTube Studio. Live stream now. Okay. Okay. Back to this. I kind of wanted to make it more robust, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Actually, should I? Whatever. No, I'm not. Where are the fonts? Create a font. FNT title. And it is going to, I kind of want a script. There's no way to scroll down. Comic Sans. Oswald, I don't know. Open Sans. I'll use this one. 24. Yeah. No, not splash. Title. Actually, you know what? I don't need to draw a rectangle. And let me just set the scale a bit up. Perfect. Now something I want to do is to transition from one to another. Not just cut like that. right now that I press enter, it goes straight to the next room. I want it to fade. And the fading stuff is going to be on the draw object. So let me create. And it's gonna be, I'm gonna make a hashtag region for transitions. Hashtag and region. And region. There we go. So everything. First, I'm gonna need a state, and as you can see, there's already an enum about it. Transition type dot, and there is in, out, and none. I'm gonna set it at none because nothing is happening. Transition 2, that is the room is going to go. I'm actually right now going to put room error. It's an error room. Let me create that error room. Let me delete this instance layer. For all I'm going to need is a color, and that color is going to be red. So if this room appears, that means there's an error somewhere in room transitioning. That is the color it's going to be transitioning into, like fade to black or fade to white, something like that. Transition step equals 0. That's basically how far is it into from one to another, from out to in. Phase is a better term, and step is how much each step of a transition. So I'm gonna start at 0.3. When it reaches, it's gonna go from 0 to 1 back to 0. When it reaches 1, how long it will wait there until it starts going back to 0. So yeah, that is the process. the variables I need for transition. So now I'm gonna create a step event to control that. So first is gonna be a big switch statement depending on the state, right? If the case transition it will do stuff. And if it's out, it will do something else. If it's none, it does nothing. So if it's in, what does it do? So first, if transition phase is greater than 0, that means it's, remember, it goes from out to in to out. So at 0, it is out. Right now, this phase is in. I mean, the type is in. And so if it's not yet out, minus equals it will take one step back towards 0. Now if it has reached 0, well, if it has reached 0 or less, gonna make sure it equals 0. State equals transition type dot none. Now if it's out, okay, wait. I just confused myself a little bit, but it's okay. Right? If the face is less than 1 plus delay, face plus equals now that it has reached 1 plus the delay, face will equal 1 transition state will equal to there we go. Yeah. So when it's transitioning out from the current room to the other, right? If the phase is less than 1 plus delay, it will increase the phase by the step. Once it reaches 1 plus delay, it will make the transition phase equal 1, transition type equal none, and it will go to the next room. Now if its transition type is in, right now I have nothing sending them into in or out, only to none. But if it's coming in, right, the room just started. Even though right here I put in none, but it just went to the room just started, so I should create a room start event. And remember, the phase is 1, so the phase is greater than 1. I will decrement it until it reaches 0. And yeah, so I'll add other room start, add room start, transition phase, no, not phase, state. Equals to type dot in. And I'm going to reset the transition to back to room error. So now when coming into a room, it's gonna start fading back in, and so let's see if that kind of works. Oh wait, nothing is being drawn. So maybe the numbers will work, but nothing will show. Yeah, nothing is showing. So let's draw something. Draw GUI end. and region. So if transition state not equals transition type dot none, so it's either in or out, right? Draw set alpha transition phase draw set color and I will draw a rectangle at 0, 0, game dot width comma game dot height, and it's not an outline, so false. After all this, I'm just gonna draw set alpha to 1. So let's see, it should do something. Probably, most likely. Hopefully. It did not. Okay. Either way. Okay, whatever. But now I have to use it. I thought I should have used it before, but whatever. Instead of this, I'm gonna do something. If draw the transition state is equivalent to I'm just gonna copy and paste this line. Transition out. But first, let me draw that transition 2 equals room title. There we go. So hopefully this does something now. Okay, it did fade. Okay, it's fading in. That's good. Okay, it works. Now, actually, I want to encapsulate this into a script. Wait. Let me. Okay. Face, fade to room. Okay. Gonna take a short break, just 5 minutes. I'm gonna set up a timer of 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. I wonder if I should stream it to Twitch. Anyway, let me take or Mixer. Let's see. Okay, the next thing is going to be create room. The test room. I'm gonna place it here. One thing about the test room, I am going to place this as the background, left and right, and title is going to be the exact same thing as splash. But instead of going to title, it will be going to test. There we go. Okay. Man, what was the number? Really quick. Actually, I'm going to go to settings on OBS and change that button. Okay, I made a control tilde. Being that, let's see. $192. and whatever. Right now I'm just gonna have it to be key up. At F12. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be F12. It's gonna be. At key up. Nah, keep that. Keep that. Digit 0. Okay, it works, and I'm actually going to delete that part. And the player sprite is this one. There's a couple of things to create. SPD equals 0. ESPD equals 0. MSPD equals 4. That's the main thing I need right now. And for the step event, okay, it is 1 p.m. I can start getting ready to go to work, or I can wait another hour and start getting ready to go to work. And I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go to work at 2. Okay. Where was I? Okay. VK right minus VK left, then VSPD equals keyboard check VK down minus vk up. And then all the way somewhere down there, x plus equals hspd, y plus equals vsp. HSP. Oh, and there needs to be a playable character in there. And it works. It's moving. Okay. Next, a collidable object called wall. There we go. And now if I run, nothing will happen. Okay, here's a nifty question. Should it be 30 or 60? Because if I put 30, it's not gonna go way slow. Hmm. Hmm. 30 or 60? I'm gonna leave it at 30 for now. If I needed more, I'm going to change it later. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. HSPD times equals MSPD. VSPD times equals MSPD. Okay. Let's see if I make it to 60. Everything's gonna be faster now. Now that I changed it to 4. Let me see, just one last experiment with 60 and 2. Okay, actually I'm gonna stop it right now. I will take a break before going to work, and yeah, that's what I'll do. Save, and actually very important, is it push changes? What is it? It's commit changes. Stage all. Commit message will be yeah, that is good enough. Commit, and now I can push changes. There we go. Okay, so everything looks good. Everything is actually on the green. Okay, I shall end it right now, and I will take a nap before going to sleep. Okay, I mean not before going to sleep, going to work. Okay, later.